Here are the Chapter 7 guided notes. They will be emailed to you and also posted in the Google Classroom for you to print. If you need a copy, I can drop them off at the welcome desk at the high school, or you can stop and see me at Hill. Starting on page 2. Some of these definitions may be things that you have done in middle school, but we're going to go through them. Okay, it's your responsibility to learn these definitions. So a monomial is a number, a variable, or a combination of both. A number, a variable, or a combination of both. So some of these examples, you could have a 2, you could have an x, you could have a 2x, and then we could even have something as a little more elaborate, like negative 2x squared, y cubed, kind of pulling on some of the things we did last chapter with some bigger monomials. Okay, the degree of a monomial is the sum of all of the exponents. Okay, and this is when we're just talking about a monomial, and that'll come into play here in a minute. So some examples that I did. If we take something like a 2x, okay, just a 2x. The 2x has a degree of 1. Why does it have a degree of 1? Well, it's x to the first power. Something like just a number 3 has a degree of 0. And then we get a little more complicated. We have this 4x squared y cubed. Then we add them together. That's where the word sum comes in. And we're talking about that monomial, so we do 2 plus 3 and get 5. Does this find the degree of the monomial? So 3 plus 5 is 8. These are to the first power, so you have 1 plus 1 plus 4 is 6. This is 0 because there are no exponents with variables. Remember, this is a 1, so it's the first power. 4 plus 10 is the 14th. And then here we have the fourth power, h to the 4th. Okay, a couple more vocab words. So now we have a polynomial, which instead of a monomial, the root word means 1, polynomial means many. So we would have 2 or more terms added or subtracted. An example of that, now we have 2x plus 1, so we have 2 different terms. Okay, or you could be something like this, 3x squared plus 2x minus 5, 3 terms. The degree is the largest exponent of all of the monomials. So we look at each one individually. So if we have something like this one up here, if we have 3x squared plus 2x minus 5, it has a degree of 2, because that's the highest one. And you'll notice we have something called standard form, which I've been doing here. Okay, it's where you just go largest to smallest in terms of our exponents. Largest to smallest in terms of exponents. So I have something like this, 7x minus 4x cubed plus 2x squared. Whoa, lost it. 7x minus 4x cubed plus 2x squared. Okay. This is first because it has a degree of 3. Then the x squared. And then we end here with our 7x, and it's positive, even though there's not a plus there. And if there was a number, which there isn't in this case, the numbers always go at the end. So if I had a 6 here to start, I would add a 6. This would have a degree of 3 because there it is. Right? You always start with your largest one. All right, after you simplify a polynomial, and I'm just going to write CLT. Hopefully you guys know that that is combined like terms. Okay, you can name the polynomial based on the degree and the number of terms. So now this is where we're going to spend most of our time. You guys need to kind of be familiar with this. In the past, it's not something that kids can have out on tests and quizzes. So you guys are kind of on the honor system to know this. So if we just look at the degree, it starts with constant, so that would be a number. Linear would have a degree of 1. Quadratic, degree of 2. Cubic, 3. There's actually a 4th degree one, which we call quatric. And then anything bigger than 5 is called a 5th degree, a 6th degree polynomial. And then we also name them based on the number of monomials in there. And it just goes up. So it's kind of the root word of monomial 1, binomial 2, trinomial 3. And then from 4 on, we just say a polynomial with n terms. Okay, so the last thing that we're doing, I have these examples here. Okay, and then you're just going to do a little bit of practice today. So this one is already in standard form, and then name the polynomial. So the first name is this degree. This has a degree of 2. So it is a quadratic. And then it has 1 term, 2 terms. So we come over here. It is a binomial. So everything has 2 names. This one here is not in standard form, so you would have to rewrite it. 9x cubed, then the 3x, and you always end with a constant. Okay, it has a degree of 3, so that makes it right here, cubic. And then it has 3 terms. So 1, 2, 3. 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms. Cubic trinomial. This one here is also not in standard form. Negative 8x plus 7. So this is linear because it's a first degree. Remember that x is actually the first power. We just don't write it. So it's a linear, and then 1 term, 2 terms, linear binomial, just like in number 7. Now we have to be careful on number 10. It's the first one that's kind of trying to throw you a little bit for a loop. These match. So you have to combine like terms before you put them in standard form. So you have, this is 1. Oops, sorry, I underlined the wrong one. Let me fix that. Everyone's like, wait, that's a 4th degree and that's a 2nd degree. This one here. There we go. So I have 3x to the 4th and an x to the 4th. That becomes 4x to the 4th. Then we do the 10x squared, which has no like terms to combine. And then we subtract 7. So this is a quatric, that term that I added up top, a quatric. And then it is a trinomial because it has 1, 2, 3 terms. This only has 1 term and it is already in standard form. So we would say that this is an 11th degree because it has an 11 here. And then this 1 term, so we would just call it an 11th degree monomial. Last one. The x squared goes first. Then x to the first plus 4. Anytime we have a square, it is a quadratic. We've done entire chapters on quadratics in algebra. And then 3 terms. So it is a trinomial. Okay. So that is it for our notes for the day. Your assignment will be the 7.1 practice. There it is. So you're going to kind of fill out this chart based on what you see here. Degree, number of terms. So these are just numbers. And then you're going to name it. Up here you're going to name it. And that's actually it. So you're just doing 1 through 8. The adding and subtracting will come on Thursday. And then we'll wrap it all up together on Friday. So that is all. Have a good day. And we'll talk to you soon.